Yeah, hey, this is Tony Rogers from Still Night, and you're listening to Rocket Night.
Yeah. Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. I'm not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down if you feel up good. Get on down.
So are you guys planning on like touring for it or just doing like a short run of shows or?
Yeah, so right now we've got, what's called our Dream State release tour. We're playing in Portland on March 25th, Tacoma on March 26th, and Seattle on March 27th. So we got those shows just recently confirmed actually, and we're super excited for that. And we could not be more stoked for this. And it's this whole album and just getting everything set up and the release and everybody that we're working with for the release. It's just, I don't know what to say, it's just, we're, it's just the huge grin on my face. I feel like tells everything. We're beyond stoked for it. And we've been working super hard on it for the past, me for the past 2 years and everybody else for the past couple, like 6 months or so. And it's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Hey man,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm happy for you guys' success on it though. That's a plus. You guys already have a little mini tour going. A lot of bands don't even have that opportunity when they release their first album. So that's a plus.
Yeah. It's, I felt like it almost came together what seems like last minute, with everything being set up. It's like, we're still struggling for like an opener for one of the shows, but like everything else, we got confirmed pretty much so quickly and put together. So yeah, it's just really so quickly and everything just got confirmed, and like venues were extremely, supportive and helpful of this. And like, I thought we were like super sick that we were setting up, this tour and everything for release shows. And, it's just been overall a positive experience, just like getting these shows booked and everything and taken care of. And it's, it's pretty much everything that we could have asked for for this, and probably even more, to be honest.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad to hear that. So you guys are considered an American post-metalcore band.
Yeah.
Nice. That's actually good to hear that metalcore is still around, because it seems like everything's going just like gentcore and stuff, or deathcore. So
Either that or all the metalcore bands are just going pop or or rock, or just trying to use metalcore to transition into other genres.
I can
And then they
dig
get
that.
bored of it. And then they get bored of it, so they come back.
So here's a question for you guys that just happened recently. Do any of you guys listen to Eskimo Callboy?
Yes.
What do you think
I
of
like
the
them a
name
lot.
change? What do you think of the name change?
I don't like it, and the only reason is because I heard it was going to go to Callboy, and I was kind of stoked for that, even though I didn't think they needed to change the name at all. But I heard that there was like drama for it, so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm okay with Callboy. And then I saw like they had just posted it, and like I saw like 3 minutes later that they changed their name and they came out with the logo, and I just did not get like a good reaction from it, like personally.
I think a lot of people are upset that they're now called Electric Callboy.
I don't like the electric. I was down for just Callboy. I don't so much like electric. It's kind of like they're going for like a 70s kind of feel. I don't know.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
It kind of reminds me of one of my buddies. He was his name's Nick. He used to drum for Outline and Color. And he's got his project that he started a few years ago called Call Girl. So that's like where my kind of like input comes in from. Like, I feel like Callboy would have been a better name for it, but Electric Callboy, that it just seems, it just seems a little goofy. Just and like this is just me personally. Like I don't listen to him. I don't think I've ever listened to him, to be honest. But just just from like an outside perspective and just a name sake, just in general, it just sounds a little goofy just to be called Electric Callboy. I think Callboy definitely would have been a better decision for them.
I think I can agree with that. When I hear Electric Cowboy, I automatically think of Electric Avenue. So
yeah, it just sounds like something completely different. I don't know. And obviously, like I understand like where the drama would come from Eskimo and everything. You know how it's been, I guess, a derogatory term for who knows how long now.
Yeah.
So it's so many things are being tossed around. I feel like it's hard to pinpoint any sort of start date for all that. So.
Well, I mean, you also have to look at how the world is these days, and everything is now PC. I never even would have thought anything of the term Eskimo other than it's a group of people.
Same.
But
yeah, I'm right there with you.
I try and avoid all the drama that goes on in social media and all that with all the PC culture. I respect it, but I tend not to touch it with a 50-foot pole because, well, what I do for a living, man, I say one bad thing and it's a whole mess.
Yeah. The more drama
for sure.
you or us or anybody can stay out of, I feel like it's just the better overall.
Right. I let my music and what I do all the talking for me, man.
100%.
So what are some of your guys' influences, like bands wise and just really all around? What influenced you guys?
Mine personally, I kind of got into metalcore with like Crown the Empire, Of Mice and Men, Asking, Jamie's Elsewhere, bands like that got me into it. So those are like my early influences. And then like more recently, like Moss to Flames, Wage War, The Plot in You, bands like that. So those are kind of mine. I know me and Cody and Tony are kind of different, but we like a lot of the same stuff. I'm sure. I know we all kind of agree on certain stuff, but there are some bands that they really like that I only recently started listening to. So
I can understand that. Actually, I think Moths are they're going on tour. They're going on a tour coming up.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always on tour whenever they can. I love that. I've seen them probably more than I've ever seen another band live. Like I think I've seen them like 5 times.
Oh wow, that's quite a few times. Nice.
I love them. I love Chris Roder so much. His lyrical ability and like I think I kind of like model my screaming after him a little bit too.
Nice. I grew up like Asking, so I mean that's like the only band out there that I know really well. Otherwise, everyone else is just kind of new. I'm old.
Yeah. I mean, like Danny said, we're all pretty different. I guess like main influences, and the reason really why I started everything would be, just like, what's coming to be Still Night. I would say it has to be with Reflections. The Color Clear, that album, it pretty much changed like everything about my thinking and like pretty much like my life as I know it, as I want to say. It's been pretty influential, and there's like everything off of that album has just been a driving force for everything that started me playing guitar and then writing and everything. And it's like, it's not necessarily like I wanted to play guitar just to play guitar. It was more like because I thought Reflections was so cool and like I wanted to do stuff like that. So like I started playing because I wanted to write stuff like them, and then it spread off from there between Invent, Animate, Currents, and then Spirit Box a little bit. Moss is great. I've actually had a pretty decent influence off of Moss too. So and like all their stuff is fantastic. But I mean, I could sit here and name 50 different bands probably, but I'd say between Reflections, Invent, Animate, and Currents, like those are probably my top 3 if I had to choose.
I'd say you're the first person I've actually heard who's named those bands as their influences. So that's
really?
actually pretty epic. Yeah, man. I mean, Reflections and Currents, man, like those aren't names I hear drop very often just because they're extremely technical in their play style and everything. So, a lot of people don't really, they're throw them out there, you get more like the Moss to Flames, the Asking Alexandria, the Avenged Sevenfolds, the Limp Bizkits, yada yada yada. So it's kind of cool that you threw them out there.
Yeah, it's like I could go back and like start back from like, when I was 4, but not that stuff hasn't necessarily, like Metallica and Disturbed and everything, but like that has not influenced me nearly as much as Reflections and Invent have. Like it's just been an astronomical difference. So it's I don't know, like granted a lot of the stuff on Dream State may not be as technical as that, but I feel like it competes with it on a level of emotion, to say the least. Just between like the ambience and everything, I feel like it competes with all that stuff. And yeah, I mean it probably never reach those levels, but I'm okay with that though, because with the Color Clear especially, it's I can't even describe it. It's just such a good album.
Well, I'm definitely stoked to hear it. I've heard your guys' one single. I have no clue how the hell to pronounce it though. Just is it Eidolon?
Eidolon. Yeah, Eidolon.
Oh,
yeah.
Eidolon. Okay. I really did not want to slaughter that name. I feel like I did the first time.
No, it's all good. It's a kind of a confusing word if you don't know, if you haven't seen it before, or you don't know what it is. So
what's the meaning behind it, man? Like behind the track. Like I know that it had a meaning to you guys. So what was the thought process in making the track? Like what was going through your heads, or what emotions were you guys feeling when you guys wrote it and produced it?
Oh, Cody, you can start, Cody, since you wrote the instrumental first.
Yeah. I mean, that song, it was and we've kind of heard this a little bit before within the past 2 weeks. Well, really ever since release. I guess it's been about a week now. But I mean, that song was pretty heavily influenced by Kingdom of Giants, my buddies in Kingdom of Giants and everything, and with their record Passenger. And it really kind of stemmed from that, and just the vibe and the emotions that I got from that record, and kind of blending it with my own feel. And then just, it's like it puts you in that feel, that zone. And then that triggered me kind of to like, all right, I kind of want to write a song while I'm here, in this time frame, in this zone and everything. So it kind of just really stemmed from that, and then just writing stuff, and then just going from there. And the instrumental, I had actually released it initially in May of 2021, but we'd recently taken it down and actually decided to put it on the record because we had some issues with another song. So we put it on the record, we did the video for it and everything. And then, I think Danny's vocals and his lyrics, it made the song go way farther than I could have ever imagined. So, Danny, I'll let you kind of take it off from there.
Yeah, so I heard the instrumental. I heard it originally, but since it wasn't like a song that we were originally had planned to go on the album, I didn't pay a ton of attention to it because I was just focusing on the stuff that I had to write to. When we scrapped the other song and ended up putting, contemplating putting that one on, I went back to it and I was like, holy crap, this bumps. So like I just started already like words and stuff going through my head. And I was like, okay, this is a heavy song. And I got that heavy emotional vibe from it too. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna have any singing in this. This is gonna be a straight banger. So I just wrote, like, I started channeling whatever I was feeling from the song. And also, what I was feeling, what vibe the song was giving me. And so I just wrote it about loss, about like losing someone and feeling like you lost yourself. And like, it also just like how you feel, how you can feel like regular, but then feel on top of the world when you have a certain someone or something. And then how far you can crash when you lose it. So that's what I was going with that. And just how, and like with the chorus, like it's so loud, like how it can feel so loud in your head when you had something that you idolized, which is a kind of like a meaning for eidolon. It's like something that you idolize. So that's kind of like a thing in there. So how like messed up you can be when you lose like someone or something that like really meant the world to you.
All right, I can dig that. That sounds like a pretty strong basis for a song when you think about it. Because I mean that yeah, you know, with as high as you can get, the higher you are, the harder you fall.
I wanted it to be like special to us. I think I got that. I think it's something that I haven't heard like a whole lot of, like the structure of it and everything. I think it's kind of like unique to us.
Agreed. What are your thoughts on it, Tony? You've been kind of quiet over there, dude.
Oh, dude, that guitar tone is thick. Like 4 C's. Yeah, man. I came in, I heard the song, and I just heard how low that guitar was tuned. It's a double drop D, and just like those breakdowns hit you, but there's like this beautiful ethereal ambience behind it that just gives it so much more emotion and depth than just, you know, like any other song that's just chugging in a super low tuning. So I heard it, I read the lyrics, and I was just like, damn, this is one hell of a song that they made. And I was just stoked to be a part of it. You know, I was like, hell yeah.
I could dig that, man, that you actually brought up the tuning and the chugging, because, man, that has become a commonplace theme in most music these days. Is when you start to double drop or drop, all you hear is chugging, and you know, it's there. I don't know. There's no real talent going on with it, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm being a dick when I say that, but it just all kind of starts to blend together. So to have people that are actually putting in the time to make it sound different while still being double dropped is cool, because that takes skill to make different sounds with that shit. But maybe that's
I mean, yeah, it was the way the original instrumental went. It was you know, it was pretty basic. You know, a lot of the ambience and everything sounded pretty similar to how it is now. You know, I just kept things, but updated some things, kept it matching with the rest of the stuff on the album, you know, like some certain presets on whatever. But I felt like I wanted to make it more dynamic if we're actually going to put it on the album, because you know, the whole album is just, it's so dynamic, but I didn't want this one track to just be, you know, like you said, just stagnant, open notes and just chugging for the whole, you know, like 4.5 minutes, whatever, however long the song is. But I wanted to give it some dynamics, but I wanted to keep that the lower tuning heavily involved with it, because, you know, it's not something that you necessarily hear with metalcore. Like, you know, some people are starting to go that direction, but it's not a very common thing, especially with it being in double drop D. So I just wanted to keep it low, but I wanted to also keep it some dynamics, but keep it, you know, between the core, you know, keep it different between the chorus, the breakdowns, the verses and everything. And you know, just try and keep it as much as different as I can, but while still making it Still Night, essentially.
I can dig that. So kind of making it your guys' own unique blend of sounds, really. Here's a question, because I mean, I have a lot of gearheads that watch this and listen to me and stuff. What gear do you guys use? Like guitars, you know, modelers, stuff like that? Because that's one thing it seems like guitarists and fellow musicians love to hear about, is everyone else's gear. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, because I have pretty much everything with me. You know, I like to keep it simple. I go pretty much everything is rack. Well, not pretty much, but everything is rack mount. You know, guitar wise, you know, I run an Ibanez Prestige RGD model. It's the RGD 7 UCS, I believe. You know, it's just matte black 7-string, 26.5 scale. It's got the Ragnarok bare knuckle pickups. Fantastic. Yeah, they're so good. Some of the best I've had. I personally like them better than Fishman's. I know that's controversial, but I like them better than Fishman's, to be honest.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and it's funny because we actually some of the songs were recorded on a guitar, another RGD with Fishman's. So it's none of the models that have Fishman's out now, but it's some aftermarket ones that I put in another guitar. But I run that through AxeFX2. I've got some like custom cab IRs that I've got from other people, from Patty and Reflections. So I was shout out to him, because I was super lucky to get those from him. He's fantastic. I love that guy. Run through all that through Reaper and everything, and it's just everything's recorded the final tone. So like if I messed up or if we had to re-record anything, it was me literally re-recording everything. It wasn't just like changing a tone. And the bass, I guess, with most people, because they'll probably be excited to hear this, we run the Dingwall Dark Glass combo. I feel like it's industry standard at this point. So
It is.
I've got a pink swirl NG3 with the Dark Glass Alpha Omega Ultra. Those were just direct into the interface and everything. So just fantastic crunchy tone with that. And I love playing it when recording it and just having fun with it every now and then. And I know Tony loves it when we play it live and everything. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much standard stuff for us, I'd say.
Oh man, the Dark Glass. Yeah, man. And the Dingwall. A lot of my friends who play music, who are bassists, just I myself am a bassist. I love Dingwall, but I just recently got into the Callium Quake basses. I don't know if you guys have heard of those, but those things are monsters. I think it's a 3740.
Wow.
So multi-scale, yeah, it's a monster. It's huge.
That's awesome. Yeah, I looked into Callium a few years ago, but I think when I saw them, they were, I want to say like 3,000 to 4,000. I was like, yeah, I don't have that much money.
I think as musicians, none of us do, man. I mean,
that's you got a point there.
I mean, we try and make money via merch and selling albums and stuff. I mean, a lot of people out there don't realize just how much money goes into touring and producing merch and, all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of money that goes into touring and just music production in general. It's
Sure.
It's not this grand lifestyle that everyone thinks that musicians have. It's it's not as dare I say, it's not as simple as it used to be. Man, you're right though. I mean, when you look at all the bands that are coming out, you have new bands popping up left and right. So yeah, you guys have a lot of competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I think, especially I've worked hard on, because we went to a studio to record vocals, but that was the only thing we went to a studio for. Everything else was I did actually, between recording guitars, bass, setting up the drums and everything. I don't play drums, so I just did MIDI drums. Thank God for that. It's just it's so nice. But it just makes it so much easier. And I produced pretty much our whole album, mixed, mastered it, and I spent. You can ask these guys. I spent countless hours, days, weeks racking my brain on the mixes. I sent them, probably between 10 to 15 different mixes for most of these songs, trying to get their opinion. I'm trying to get what we all think sounds good and right. And we've been lucky that I guess not lucky, but I get lucky in a sense, I guess, but thankful that we've been putting in so much work for this. So, and that we're able to do it ourselves and save, $1,000 on money for album production and all that. So,
oh man, album production is so expensive these days if not done in house.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good thing you know what the heck you're doing, man, because a lot of artists don't know how to mix their own stuff. So
it took me forever, and vocals are. Man, I feel like I can do everything else, but when I get to vocals, man, that was a struggle. you can ask Danny. I've sent him countless takes on different mixes.
He got so much better in such a small time, and I would be lost without him because I don't know mixing for crap. I tried to do it and I can't figure it out, and I still want to, but man, he picked it up like Inhuman. It was like Inhuman how fast he picked it up and like managed to go from like the very beginner mix to where it's like we can't put that out to like 2 songs later and he's like a professional now. It's like it's so crazy.
Have you tried doing like the nail the mix stuff, y'all? I mean, I
I was
know.
looking into it actually. Yeah, I was just looking into it. I was really actually considering. I probably still will because it seemed pretty legit. I'm definitely wanting to do that so I can actually learn to mix because I really want to get into that for sure. So especially so I can help Cody out, but also so I can do my own side stuff and just so I can know it.
I can agree with that. I think that it's decent for everyone to know a little bit about something or another when it comes to mixing, because I mean, it would help you guys go through things a lot faster and would help with album production time and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do that, the nail and mix stuff. I just haven't had time. Unfortunately, that's just the only reason. I just have not had any time. So,
Well,
if I had
your
time, I would definitely be there. So, yeah.
well, I mean, you've been working on trying to produce this album and get it out. I mean, I know some bands give each other, like timelines and stuff and deadlines to have things done. So, besides doing the album, you've been trying to set up tour dates and, that stuff. I'm sure you guys have lives outside of music. Most of us do. So,
I'd hope so.
well, I mean, it's not cheap. I mean, a lot of musicians still have to have like jobs besides music, so they have no life. It seems. So
It's literally just work and music. Literally just work and music, like back and forth.
So where do you guys like hail from?
Really kind of all over the place, but I mean, Seattle is where we're mainly based out of. So
I am from the sunny lands of Ohio.
That's quite the difference from Seattle there, bud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or as all the memes have been saying recently, the lands of Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's seen those, but
yeah.
Such a great game, by the way. Such a killer game. Do you guys game? I mean, do you guys have time to game?
I do every now and then. I think Tony, you said you played a bit of Elden Ring, haven't you?
Oh, I make time to game.
Oh.
I try to game as much as I can whenever I get some free time. That's like my one vice.
Yep. So here's a question: PC or console? And if console, which one?
PC.
Yeah, I go with PC too. I have a PC. It's in storage right now. But I have an Xbox. But I do like the PlayStation 5 more than the new Xbox personally. I think the haptic feedback on the controller and the triggers and just how everything feels is so cool, and it's like something different. And I mean, like when you look at the two consoles side by side, they're pretty much neck and neck as far as the specs go. So I think the big thing with consoles is just like what kind of exclusive games you want to play. But if we're talking about like what's better overall, it's hands down PC. Like you got the Steam
100%.
sales and like every game you could think of, and like also you could upgrade things and the graphics are better. You could get like ultra wide monitor. Like there's just endless things as to why it's better.
Oh yeah, I can dig that. I have them all. I have PlayStation. I have let's see. I have PC, PlayStation, Xbox Series X, Switch, and a DS.
Damn, dude, you got like all the Infinity Stones.
Oh, dude, I'm a giant nerd when it comes to gaming, man. Elden Ring has been great. The exclusives have been nice for Xbox. What are your thoughts on Activision Blizzard being purchased by Microsoft? I know a lot of people were up in arms about that one, man.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to change the whole landscape of the gaming community for sure. And I definitely see why a lot of people are up in arms about it. But I mean, that's just why you got to have one of every console,
Oh yeah.
Like I also feel like with that though, like, I don't know. I just kind of get that vibe. Like when I heard that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, that it's going to bring PlayStation and Xbox closer than they've ever been before, closer to kind of the PC side of things, because PC obviously gets everything or just about everything.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's going to bring them closer, and it's like, there hasn't been necessarily so much of that console war that's been going on for past 15, 20 years, however long people have been debating about it. But like Tony said, it's when you look at the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, like they're basically the same thing. It's just it maybe slightly different hardware and obviously different software. And at this point, and like most games nowadays are becoming cross-platform, so it's like it doesn't really matter what you play on nowadays. It's as long as you're having fun. That's really what it's about. And with the Switch, obviously that's in a different league because all the Nintendo games are Nintendo games, and that's not going to change. But it's it's just it's cool. Obviously for Microsoft, they just spent a buttload of money and they got a cool company, and hopefully they're going to resolve a buttload of those issues that they've been having, which I think will be better for everybody, to say the least.
Agreed.
But I think honestly, it wouldn't matter necessarily if they went under Sony either. Like I think the company's going to become better. It's going to be better overall game production for Xbox and PlayStation and PC too. It's kind of the same thing. I was talking about this with somebody earlier today. It's kind of similar. It wasn't necessarily gaming. God, what was it? It was I don't remember what it was exactly. We were talking about some company being bought out, and it was Disney buying Star Wars. And it was he was talking about just how it's more funding for them. Like I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have shows like The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and like even the new Star Wars movies without Disney buying out Lucasfilm and all that. It's kind of the same thing. Like they're going to get more funding. They're going to get better support. Like games are probably not going to come out every year, which I think is a fantastic thing because people need to be patient again because everybody's so impatient nowadays. And like, if you want a good game and to not bitch at launch, then you need to wait. That's my personal opinion. So
get rid of
I think it'll be
Rinse
better
and
for I think it'll be better for everybody.
Oh yeah, I think they finally slowed down on Assassin's Creed, and hopefully they've slowed down on Call of Duty. I want them to make another Guitar Hero. I think that was part of the golden age of gaming right there.
Oh yeah,
Tony, that's Tony's jam right there.
That's literally what got me to start playing guitar. I'm not even kidding.
Really? Guitar Hero?
Yeah, I got it for Christmas, and like I was like 10 or whatever, and I got it for Christmas, and I was like, oh, I should learn how to play real guitar. And then I switched over, and now I suck at Guitar Hero. Like I played it like 2 weeks ago at a cousin's house. Couldn't even do easy. I was like, oh gosh.
Well, if you want stuff like that, man, then do Rocksmith, because bring your own guitar and play it. It's like Guitar Hero, but playing an actual instrument.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been wanting to try that out. That looks super cool.
It's actually really fun, dude. Not gonna lie, I use it just to mess around. Like I'll mess around with like Ocean's 8 Alaska and stuff like that on there. So
Hell yeah.
if you want to get real technical, or like Opeth and I don't know, Primus, because again I'm a bassist, so can't really get much more difficult than early Primus. So
For real.
Right. Yeah.
when Metallica says you're too good for them, then you're you're walking above most people at that point. So go figure.
Hey
guys,
like, I gotta hop off here. I'm really sorry. I'm finishing up at work.
Oh, dude, you're all good.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure meeting you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for,
too, man.
joining us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for the talk. I'll see you guys later.
Cool.
Peace out,
See you,
Danny boy.
Peace. So all right, what do you guys do in your free time? I know Tony, you said you game, you make time for gaming, which I think is a huge stress reliever in this day and age. What do you do in your free time, Cody?
Honestly, pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll design stuff. I mean, like I've been designing a bunch for tour flyers and just like trying to get album promo ready and everything like that. Like it's sometimes a pain in the ass. I'm like I don't want to do this at all, but I'm like, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it at all. So I'll do it. But most of the time I spent gaming. Like I actually have Steam up in the background. Like I can see all the games I have right now, honestly. So, like probably after this, like, I might go grab a drink or two or something and just chill out for the rest of the night and game and just, relax. And let's call it a night after that. So
do you guys do like World of Warcraft or Diablo or anything like that? Overwatch? I know a lot of people are into Overwatch and stuff. So I didn't know if that was kind of.
I'm not, but I mean, I'm kind of all over the place. I mean, like, I guess the closest to World of Warcraft I would get would be RuneScape.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Old
right,
school
dude.
RuneScape,
I think I just hit like 10 years on my count like not long ago. So kind of a big achievement, but not really, even though I haven't been playing like all that often for 10 years. So whatever. But I got sucked into Apex last year by my brother, and I've been, getting better with that. And like, it's helped me because I only built my PC like probably a year and a half ago. So trying to get better with all the PC controls and mouse and keyboard and everything, that's been huge help. I recently just got back into Destiny after 2.5 years of retirement. I know it sounds goofy to say, but like I retired from Destiny. Shout out Tony. But I went into retirement like 2.5 years ago because I was like, I hate this game. It's always the same thing. It's always the same DLC. They just charge you $40. I'm sick of it and whatever. So I like went into retirement, like kind of out of spite, but not really. And then I was like, I just been watching some streamers, and I was like, man, I really miss this. So got back into that with Witch Queen. I haven't done much of the campaign yet, but I'm still getting there. And just it's a whole bunch of other games, man. I mean, I'm all over the place. So
Man, that actually sounded like a dude I interviewed recently by the name of Christoph Bathory of Dawn of Ashes. He's like, man, my game is Destiny. He's like, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to start playing. He's like, the Witch Queen comes out like tonight. I'm totally going to hit it up and I'm going to destroy shit. I'm like, all right. I remember playing the first Destiny back in the day. I mean, like, I played the first one. I mean, I dabbled a little bit in the second one. I don't know. It just like, it seems like if you stop playing it for a minute and then you jump back in, everyone is like leaps and bounds ahead of you. So then you're just like, shit. Now I'm totally
that was my thing with Destiny. When Destiny 2 first came out, I was obsessed with it. Like I was doing all the raids. I was like max elite level, like, a few weeks after it came out. And then I think after like the Osiris DLC, I stopped playing. And then like 2 DLCs came out. I was like, all right, I'm going to jump back into this. And like, I just had no idea what was going on anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. This has kind of lost its luster for me now.
It seems like some games get like that with me if they kind of overstay their welcome. I think that's one of the reasons that I enjoyed like Borderlands was like the constantly evolving guns and stuff like that. You never found them all. So, that's one of the things that's kind of kept me, with games like that. Otherwise, I get bored really easily, man. Like when it comes to video games, I think that's one of the reasons I like that they're constantly coming out with new ones. I don't know. I mean, I like to listen to music when I'm gaming though too. That's actually how I find a lot of the music that I listen to, is through, video games and stuff like that. And my boss actually turned me on to you guys, and she's like, hey, you need to. Think you might like these guys. What would you think about interviewing them? So I listened to you guys' stuff. I was like, I fucking love this. Yeah. Hook me up.
Oh yeah, thanks, dude.
She told me a few weeks ago about you guys, and so like I started listening. I was like, oh fuck yeah. Hook me up with these guys. I'd love to. Down Poochie Poo. Sorry, my German Shepherd is trying to attack me. Yeah, man. So it's been cool that you guys actually took the time out to speak with me and stuff. Just kind of. Because I don't like to do the average interview of, what are your guys' thoughts on this, and this? Because, I mean, you guys are going to get a lot of that coming up after your album release and everything. And I think that just might get kind of boring and stuff. So are all of you guys old enough to drink?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to ask favorite drink, man.
Oh, man. I go back and forth. I mean, I guess... like hard liquor, I guess I'd have to say whiskey. I don't necessarily have a specific brand. I'm also probably one of my favorite things overall is sake. I love sake. I can drink that all night and like wake up with next to no hangover. So
heated or cooled?
Either.
I'll
drink it either way. Yep.
That's a question I have to ask people because some are partial to it being warmed up and some are partial to it being cold because it brings out different flavors. So that's why they do have their advantages. It kind of depends on
like how I'm feeling, and also like if it's cold or hot outside. Because if it's hot outside, it's like you don't want to be drinking hot sake, obviously. So it's I feel like hot sake in the winter when it's colder outside, definitely a big moves right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, like there's a company called Dry Dock, and they have a vanilla porter. That's probably my favorite beer I've ever had. It is so delicious.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
The introductory song, Get On Down, is from blues artist Billy Bass Alford. Look for his music at ReverbNation.com.